This stupid rot gate is still dumb in design, and I hate you all for trying to use it. Yes, vampires, gold and wrought iron gates.
Man with green vest, please no. Window washer, I can't die like this. Woman with purple shoes, please.
Girl eating Halloween candy watching this. Get on with it.
Oh, here's a good one. Man in the last row of the Son of Chic picture show. You said you had cigarettes.
Listening to people's last words as my vampire lover sucks on my neck. It's so amusing.
As I sat there and sucked on the neck of my young Amir, I had to ask, why is this nigga asking me all these dumbass questions? Doesn't he see I'm trying to enjoy my Asian Indian cuisine? I always love sucking on the duck sauce, titillated with my tongue.
It's a kill list.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of something more fucked up than this.
And how is your work any different?
He's not murdering people and then listing the amount of times in which he was told to go fuck himself as a journalist.
He's not a serial killer, you asshole. How is what you do any different as an author, a writer? I'm sure you've killed people for writing, right? What are we trying to say? What's the poetic theological discussion we're trying to have? I don't know.
You're a journalist. That means you're evil. The only way that this would get worse is if you guys were inside of a sex dungeon. And then they would be like, well, is this any worse than what you do? And it's like, yeah, I don't get fucked in my ass.
What do you think will happen to Mr. Dulac when you publish this book? When the other vampires of the world get their hands on it, they will scale the sides of this building, force their way inside, and paint the walls with his blood.
You mean paint the walls with your blood in his body? Because he's been sucking on your neck for a long time. Why aren't you dead? I distinctly remember the nice, lovely Russian getting sucked dry. At least sucked to the point that the nigga fainted. So he's been licking on your neck for a good long while. Do you just have that much blood?
He's Indian. The curry protects him from blood loss. I don't know.
Jay, that's racist.
Rashid is an opinionated young man. He lives to share these opinions even when they're not solicited.
Or correct.
What's he taste like?
I didn't ask that.
You were thinking it.
Nigga, how do you know he was Carl, he reads minds, don't you know? Okay, fine. Fair. Why would you then insert this dialogue into the scene? And why would he be thinking that? Was he thinking that actually? And it was more like he thought what we thought, which is, why are you sucking on his neck so long? Is he more delicious than the others?
I think
the curry sauce?
I think the thought would have been like he must taste good if you've been sucking on it for this long. Not, oh, what does he taste like? That's just weird.
Stay out of my head.
Honey and pineapple. He stuffs himself with both for days before he offers himself to me.
Okay, that is very gay. Oh my god.
We all know what pineapple does.
What you want to do next? Drink 7 days worth of grapefruit?
Eat, pray, swim, pray, etc. On days he's a plump 139, I believe he swims twice. Metronomic, my Rashid.
My Rashid.
Metronomic, my Rashid.
What? You're gonna make me choke on this Reese's Pieces.
Don't do that, it's private.
Dear diary, am I gonna be a virgin every single time I do it? Won't my skin down there grow back like my hair does when I cut it?
Jesus.
Nigga, I told you don't do it. It was private.
Her hymen growing activities. That's fun.
Yeah, I didn't hear that. Thanks, white liberals trying to gaslight us. That was so nice.
It's my dick in a box.
Half a parade crew, the incinerator will be overflowing.
The smoke alone would blow out the moon.
Where are the bodies?
Okay, so I have several questions. Back it up. Why are you dressed like you are a mid-20-something woman? Because this is the outfit of a normal, everyday, out-and-about woman. You're supposed to be matured, young 14, permanently. Why are you dressing your actress like she's 25? This doesn't help me. This doesn't help me at all. And more importantly, are you telling me that... It's funny every time. Are you telling me that you two then stood there and came with a plan? You're like... All right, Louis, what do you want to do with her? Well, I don't know. I guess we're going to have to wait for her to come back in tonight. Okay, Louis, I have a plan. I'm going to get inside of the coffin, and we are going to wait for her to come in. I'm going to walk in behind her. You're going to block her out, and we're going to be on top of this. We're going to be together, Louis. Really? Is that what your plan was? You're going to wait there all night?
I'm going to pop out of the box like an asshole boofta and surprise our girl.
I banned them, okay? No one's ever gonna find them except maybe criminals burying bodies of their own.
And that makes it better because?
Besides, criminals can probably try to get lesser charges if they tell the cops about bodies that they found, and they can trace other criminals, bigger criminals, but whatever. We don't think about these things.
Why would criminals care about the bodies? But Carl, at the point, no. Why would the criminal care about the bodies? When you bury a body, you got the body there, you got your battery acid, you got your shovel, you got your ladder, because remember, you got to dig 12 feet down. 6 feet for the first body, then you bury up, then you put a carcass on top of that, then you put the rest of the dirt down. When you are going to bury a body, would you continue to bury that body in the place where you just found a dead body? And the reason why you don't is because if there's a dead body there, it means somebody was recently there. Now you gotta account for other things like the state of decomposure, the actual form of the flesh. Is it maggoted? Is it already rotting and melting off the skin as it liquefies and putrefies with the fat? Is it wearing clothes? Was the body stripped naked and dumped? Or was it actually properly embalmed and cared for and then dumped? These things then tell you about the sophistication of what was done. Was it a crime of passion? Was it a mob hit? Was it a victim of circumstance just was left where they died? Is it likely that you just stumbled across the very clear kill site and dump nest of a recent murderer? What if he's still in the area? What if he just saw you dig up the corpse and he doesn't know whether or not you will tell somebody about what you found or not?
Mm-hmm.
There are so many people who are going to be endangered. There's no way that a person wouldn't be investigating this during the 1920s.
She wasn't screaming long enough for that to happen.
Why did they zoom in like that?
Yeah, it's supposed to be one of those horror movie zooms. Yeah, Sam Raimi ruined everything.
Also, why is her hair all good like that if she just went hunting?
'Cause, TV show. Damn, there's like, this bitch just left bodies everywhere. This idiot!
What the fuck? You're a sloppy fucking killer. Because I have to imagine, is this a green screen ground or is this water? Because if it's water, okay, the buoyancy of these two bodies here on the bottom left and at the bottom of the screen, okay, that makes sense. They're partially submerged. The water level was fucked with by the storm that it revealed these bodies. But the problem is, this person and this person are lying in the ground in such a position that does not make sense for a body of water. They're not bobbing. You're not seeing them go under and above the surface. So it's like they're laying on a flat surface, which makes me think, are they laying on a CGI ground and they just composited them in different positions? Like in front of like a green screen and then behind a glass mirror that they partially filled with water? So they can get this effect. And then there's the logistics. During none of this time, did you never listen or learn from them how to be able to hide bodies? Not once? You're retarded.
Yeah, things are just dumb to make things in the plot happen. The television 101.
A recent unpleasantness in the ninth ward. The floaters.
The floaters. Oh, so I guess that was water and they were floating. Well, that's
shitty effect.
Because they were just so still, like they were just halfway in the ground or something.
Exactly.
Your daughter let us in.
I was in the middle of cleaning when they knocked.
That's not a word.
I was too busy cleaning when they knocked. That sounds vaguely southern and old-timey, doesn't it?
You can't see it, but I'm getting violently angry.
The fuck is her problem?
What the fuck are you doing?
Acting. I'm quirky killer girl.
You fucking stumble up and do first two steps of the Charleston, then you fucking catch yourself before you fall down, and you commit to the bit of, hey, I'm drunk. I'm so drunk, I'm a knocking my way up the steps. Oops, I knocked my head.
This show is funny for the wrong reasons.
All the wrong reasons, with all of the right comedic timing.
You often leave your daughter alone with access to illegal spirits?
How the fuck are you drunk, and why are you using these body parts?
In the film, Claudia preserved this chick that she wanted to look like, because of course she's trapped in a child's body, which she kept her preserved like a doll in her room. I guess they consider her collecting a left titty as the equivalent of her preserving a body, but no, it doesn't. It's not even close to how good it was in the film.
We go from a mortal child longing to be fucked to a totally not adult teenage girl deciding to now take up the traits of a serial killer.
I stole half a titty. I guess you could say I knocked. I took a knocked.
No.
You have a whole fucking body!
Oh my God. And you can hide it better. You know, we have to watch the original film one of these days just so you can get a sense of how much better that was than this bullshit. Like, what the hell is this? And your fathers should have smelled that. I mean, technically they should have smelled it in the movie too. But in this especially, because they really put an emphasis on their powers. So they should have known that was there. Or is he not dead?
The only thing that would make sense is that he's not dead. But then I am beggared to ask the question. Well, actually, the flies would still be there because he's dying, and flies just feed on necrotizing corpses to begin with. But then, how did you have a whole ass man with a whole ass train of thought, a whole human being that somehow isn't able to be heard and have his mind read in the vicinity of your home with two learned vampires to read their mind collectively together as they're in your bedroom? When did you bring that guy to your room? When did he get there? When did you have time to place him there?
Yeah, you really don't have the strength to, even as a vampire, like to lift up a whole fucking man up to your room, like up a window. I assume you climbed or something, because how did you get it past your father's at the front door?
Logistics are breaking down.
But I don't like what I've seen in this home.
And we'll make sure Police Chief Bardeen is informed how his men conducted themselves in the home of law-abiding, tax-paying citizens.
You know, I'd add a second bed to the boudoir before you two go making accusations. I have no doubt you could carry the fines, but crimes against nature, that comes with a 5-year prison term if convicted.
Now, I know I busted into the room with your daughter, but you two fags should really get better cover.
Yes, I broke into your daughter's room as she was getting dressed and getting knockered, but you two have been knockered the boots, sticking your penises in your pooper shooters. You know, it just sickens me to think about it.
You wanted her. You fixed her.
Do you remember our life? How happy we were before her?
We were so happy before we had children. Oh, God, stop it. This shit.
Who am I supposed to love? Who's my Lisette?
Charlie, before you drank all his sugar, sweet, syrupy blood.
That's your problem, bitch.
You shouldn't have licked and poked when you should have just been sucking and fucking. That's your fault.
What human would want me?
Charlie did, before you killed him. Move along. I don't have time for this shit. We're trying to find this real shit. Stop it.
Perverts? Like the uncle at the rooming house who used to watch me pee?
Y'all just couldn't word that differently, could you? You just couldn't make it less funny. There's a guy who used to watch me pee. It made me so knackered.
Are you about to sit here and tell me that during this speech, none of them sit there and start taking notes saying, a man watched you do what?
Or little boys?
Yeah, just like all the other black women in the black community.
What?
Black women like to get with younger black men instead of older black men. I mean, because they're inexperienced.
But she's talking about little boys, like 14-year-olds.
Yes, I know what she means. But I'm trying to be topical and funny.
Also, her acting sucks in this scene.
And her acting is dog shit.
Yeah.
And 40 years from now, still little boys? How are you gonna fix it, huh? Which one are you gonna fuck me? Which one are you gonna fuck me?
Well, what is she doing?
I don't know.
Okay, little orphan Annie.
You already used that joke on Ice Spice.
Not everybody is on Twitter. And I still think that's a banger, so.
Which one are you gonna fuck me?
You're not my type. I like a full of figure.
Stop.
Oh, shit. That is gold.
You know, they aged her up. There's a lot of like sexual overtones with this. Like not even overtones, like way overtones. Tones. Exactly. Tones. But like in the originals, like shit was merely implied. Like we knew what the deal was. There were implications, flowery dialogue, but they're flat out having this girl yell out, "What are you gonna fuck me?" What are you doing? What are you doing, Shell? What are you doing?
And the part that makes it worse is that if you try to make this a multi-series thing, I don't expect her character to live forever. At least in terms of like, she's a recurring character. She has to die by season fucking 1 because we can't be going through her memories. Technically, at this point, he's telling the story through the framing device of giving the fuller details. But if you were going to do this shit with her diaries, you should have led up to a point in which the story would then deviate from what the movie does, because then you could say, here's the secret accounts I didn't tell your ass back then. I was hiding. Now I'll give you the full truth. And then you can have like her disappear and she doesn't actually die. She goes off and she lives her own adventures in life. You would spin off your immortal series because you niggas know that it's what you're trying to do.
I mean, they already, first episode, they set up this other show that they're releasing, the Mayfair Witches, the one you were telling me about, with creepy-eyed white girl. They set that up in the first episode and we didn't notice it at first.
I didn't even realize that was the thing they were doing. And then I went back and I'm like, wait a minute. Could y'all niggas have not waited until the last episode to try to tease your next series?
Because I don't buy for a second that they have planned out every intertwining plot line or how characters are going to show up here and there. Like it's like with Phase 4 of Marvel, that they were just pissing in the wind.
Make me one, because if you don't, I'm gonna go out there and find other vampires.
They would shred you to strips because you are built like a bird. Because you are a mistake.
He treats us like shit and you take it. Why is that? And you, cruel as the devil ever made, to refuse me one love when you've got two.
Are you blind? He loves you, bitch. He just said your ass is built like a fucking bird.
Fly, pelican, fly. Lestat literally called her a chicken head. He called her a pigeon.
Y'all need some come around and do some fucking dialogue like, listen here, you little chicken, don't make me pop you like a chocolate beignet and suck out all the juicy bits.
He's gotten tired of us, Daddy Lou. The housewife and the mistake.
Called you a housewife, damn. Oh, you need to get
But is she wrong?
You need to get your edge back, nigga.
I better start doing some squats, boy.
You need to take the palm oil out of your hair and comb that part out.
Better get that pussy on tight. Otherwise, he's good.
You better top up, nigga.
Cheeks up, boy.
I remember the night I was made, the fire choking me, you carried me out through the flame and the smokes. But then why'd you take me home? Why not a hospital?
Why did you take me home and save my life by making me a vampire and curse me to your unworldly pain?
I'd be sweeping floors, making dinners, nursing babies. Maybe I'd go to church. You think on that, son?
I'm pretty sure you already did. While rearing your dumbass. And worst off, more than likely, considering your age, your disposition, and the fact you came from a particular very poor part of your town, it's more likely that you would have been raped by an alderman. Nobody wants to talk about that shit. Hey, Carl, don't talk about shit you actually know from living there. That's evil. We don't want evil shit. We want drama. Y'all didn't think about that shit, did you? We already fucked with the story, but let's not fuck with it too much.
Not too much where it makes sense.
I hate y'all niggas. I hate y'all niggas so much. I want y'all liberal lighters to know that I hate you with a burning passion, and I want to go to sleep at night with the thought of my hands wrapping around your neck and choking the life
slow
out
down,
of you.
You don't want to catch a case. Don't get my channel fucked up, nigga.
In Minecraft. In Roblox. In Barbie's Tropical Island Adventure.
I also think she makes you and Frenchie look like a couple of whiny existential queens.
That's called motherfucking bars, nigga!
This man would be good at single player Carl and JLongbone.
I won't have her exploited.
Won't matter what your intentions are. It's the world out there now. She's the single shooter Xbox mouth breather shit they crave.
You can put the diaries in a proper context.
Once you put it out there, they decide what it is.
This is a very interesting narrative that you're saying, the idea of what the modern populace does. But I do have to ask you, dumbass white-haired liberal writer who gaslights us at the end of the episode, when you get to this particular section of the recap and you start lying to me, I'm gonna need you to argue with every other fucking person who claims that that's not what your intention is. Because I know your dumbass wrote that because it sounds like you.
Mm-hmm.
If the audience is the ones who decide it, Why do you recap every single episode instead of allowing the audience to decide the interpretation of what they're seeing and they're hearing? Why do you keep giving us real additional in-world context to our most favorite scene so far? I've said enough. I hate you all.
Assume we are under suspicion. Assume our finances no longer provide us protection.
Yeah, because y'all being in the middle of the fucking city murdering people without any careful planning. I don't know how y'all haven't been tarred and feathered and staked yet.
It's like, if I had to be the police chief and it had to come up in conversation, I definitely would be sitting around the table with all these fucking aldermen and this apparent fucking man who somehow landed himself to run for the House of Representatives, which, okay, weird how y'all niggas are just gonna let that guy live. Didn't he fuck you too? Wasn't he a part of the plan to explicitly fuck you? But you didn't kill him either? Really? Just the one fat guy. The one with the clanly connections. I'm pretty sure sitting around that table from all the aldermen and the police chief, when they say, what are we gonna do about those two faggots that live in the Main Street house? Oh, we just gonna let them live? Oh, I'm pretty sure they're murdering and burning people. They be too much good money. But they're gay. What about the faggot money? They're gay. We gotta do something about it.
Yeah, so stupid. Yeah, the one's black, one's gay. We don't really like any of that shit. One of them used to pimp white women while being black and possibly kidnapped a child that they suddenly have. But this eccentricity is lovely. Them possibly being tied to murders, like, it's fine. Whatever.
There would be no roaring 20s for us. We would be underground for 7 years.
Oh, how convenient for you to just skip past the roaring 20s. That's very wild. The most interesting part of America that it would be best for you to be able to use the setting for. Not gonna focus on Claudia, not gonna focus on the two lovebirds. Nah, there was nothing for us. We skipped past them bitches. We didn't have anything of interest we wanted to try and do with this time period and era. We're not inventive writers, you see. We just want to stick to the parts that you know you came here for. The racism revenge, and the black jokes. Lots and lots and lots of black jokes.
I longed for Claudia. I ached for her.
Okay, you need to be careful with your words here because you're making him sound like he is a star-crossed lover.
Mm-hmm. For a 14-year-old.
Undead, corpse-like 14-year-old coochie.
Ugh.
Disgusting.
My mama works here. She cleans classrooms. I read while she's cleaning.
You can read.
What did I tell you? Racism, revenge, black jokes.
You hungry?
Are you telling me she wouldn't have figured it the fuck out when you projected your voice in her head?
That's dumb. Why would...
Yeah, let me go ahead and just grow a random canine fang right on my lip in front of this human and expose myself. He's not paying attention. He's hopped up on all that racism.
32 Royale.
This is a random raccoon just chilling in their house.
Ignoring all of
There's a very obvious coon joke here.
He's just sitting around chilling. It's funny.
Should I do like you instead?
Can you do like a normal black man and do something about your nappy ass hair?
I took an unsavory delight in provoking Lestat.
Yes, because you're a bitch.
But it was a cheap satisfaction.
Yes, because you're a bitch.
What was he like, your maker?
Strange. European.
Oh no, he was a faggot. I couldn't resist. There's a thing happening right now with the prosthetics on their eyes for the contacts where the light from the fire in the scene is intermixing with it. It's not a bad effect. It's actually pretty good and decent in making them look a little bit more demonic, but a little bit more angelic. But it's distracted by this fucking dialogue. I want to say that they did this intentionally. If they didn't, let's just say it was a happy little accident. Just like this bitch.
How old are you, Claudia?
This is getting a little bit rapey. Stop making me feel bad for this character.
Oh, don't do this effect.
There are 4 pages torn out.
I'll repeat myself. I will not exploit her.
I mean, you're already telling him about her,
It
though.
would happen.
You're already telling him about her, so, you know, he's going to assume you want that in the book he's going to write, I guess. And plus, you want people to sympathize with her. Like, why? So they would really have to know what happened.
This lampshade hanging here is annoying because you're trying to imply, oh, he raped her. Okay. Here's the thing, though. I don't need to see nor hear that, but you should be having fun with the retelling of this, because now you two now have to debate over this. And you know what would be really funny? Watching that actor and that actress have to act out the version of events that you play, where either one, she struggles to get away from the rapist and then later recollects herself and then eventually returns back to talking to you because I couldn't make out there on my own in the world, daddy. I ended up coming across another vampire and he tried to put his penis in me. Which, that's just funny. It's funny because I don't like the character, and it's funny because I know that's exactly how that actress would say penis. But more importantly, if you decide to go with the version of I was abused and used by a vampire, and I would have thought that sex would have been uncomfortable to begin with, but lordy, did he really knock at my boots. There's three versions of the event. Either she hates it, she loves it, or she gets away from it and wonders, what if I had stayed? None of these versions really work, but y'all little motherfuckers that decided to write this scene. Play your cards, boy.
And she wrote about it, and I'd like...
Also, why are you scratching a fucking hole in your table?
It shows that he's aggravated.
So fucking put his hole in something else.
Put a hole in that Indian's ass.
Torn out pages.
The fuck? The fuck is he doing?
Don't ask again.
But what is he doing?
The interview, if you are in...
Imagine how many times they did that scene. And it's like, all right, reset, take 23. I mean, I need a little bit more arm flap from you. I don't need you to do a little bit of handman. I need a little bit more Fred Astaire, a little less Fran Drescher, and make sure you really get the pounding right, okay? I need them to think the hand's possessed, not that you're trying to sass the man. Nigga, did you just grab a rat from underneath a newspaper in your nasty-ass house?
Oh, he's eating in bed and he's very messy about it. He's so relatable.
A whole side of his hair is just flat, and the other side is looking like an unshapen afro. Why do you have him posing like he's wearing a nightgown?
Because he's gay, Carl!
Sometimes when you decide you want to go for gay visual innuendo, just don't. Because all I can imagine now is this guy...
Don't need that either, Louis. Whoever you are that took my Louis.
It's me, Grace.
It's me, Grace. The homosexuality, it won't work on me for long. You gotta save me from the butt monster.
The butt monster?
So you made a gravestone for him. Okay. Florence is your mother.
Mm-hmm.
Here's your brother. Where's your other brother?
Other brother? Wait, what?
Remember?
Oh, you mean, the autistic.
Yes, the nigga who jumped off the roof and said, I believe I can fly.
This is how it has to be for me. For my family.
Oh, how nice of you. Don't let him decide. The humans will do it for him. So now we don't have to care. We can get back to the vampire. I see you niggas. I see you niggas. Yeah. See, this is why I told you about Breaking Dawn shit. Y'all niggas don't know how to write around human characters. Since y'all niggas did not write good dialogue, let me just go ahead and insert some for you.
Bitch. Basically.
Sitting in my home reading books in the dark cause I'm sad as hell. I came home. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. You can just assume they're doing it telepathically. Work along with me, audience. I'm so sorry. I assaulted you.
You are not going to do this the whole fucking scene. Shut up.
No, I'm not.
Just let it play out.
Look out. The bitch is back.
How is college? Magna cum, summa cum, phi beta kappa.
I'm surprised that he didn't make a cum joke, so I will. Magna sum, sigma cum, theta pi kappa, fuck a lot of geyser.
Yeah, even that joke is too highbrow for the show.
Come with me. Come with me, Louis.
You don't even have to change anything. Just change the visuals. We can have so much fun with that line.
Don't stay in it.
1,000 nights of sulking and the first sight of her, you were just gonna up and leave me?
Please come with me. Let's be vampires worthy of your love.
Get the fuck off!
So you have her dressed like she's a fucking teenager. acting in like what, a fucking offshoot of the Hunger Games.
She dresses like a kid from the 90s.
Exactly. Our niggas just gave up with all this fucking dressing and shit and said, all right, let's put the bitch some goddamn overalls. We've lost ideas. Let's put the bitch in some fucking work boots. Call it a day, goddammit.
1,000 Nights of Solitude, and she walks in here looking like Farmer John, and you were going to leave me!
And then you niggas, it's fucking physical acting, my god.
Please come with me. Let's be vampires worthy of your love.
Let's be vampires worthy of your love as I focus in on my face dramatically and my giant elephant nostrils.
And my overly painted eyebrows. Jesus. She's got chola eyebrows, but thick.
Then you niggas have such lazy fucking fight choreography. Let's just have him randomly throw him up against the wall and then just use the screen and AV camera transitions to cover up how bad it is.
And we'll use the whoosh sound effect every time they zip across the room.
What do you want to do
Okay,
for music?
wait, what was that? What did you throw him through?
It's just when he goes flying, a bunch of papers follow him.
We gotta make it look like stuff is happening. Stuff!
This is the real reason why they chose to make the house messy. It's because they didn't want to do extra work to have to try and do animation for the fight choreography.
Yeah.
Maybe he's throwing himself around and they decided, you know what, we're too lazy to hire proper stunt coordinators. We're just gonna put a bunch of newspaper in the fucking scene and just go ahead and launch yourself into it. You'll be cushion, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Gotta tear the bitch down anyways and repurpose it for the show, so get to knocking, boys. Are we gonna have music? Of course! Blaring loud dramatic music! How else can we end the scene? Won't that get on the nerve of the audience watching? No, they don't know what real filmmaking is.
It's romance, Carl. You don't know what romance is. This is romantic being beaten the fuck out of your French bouffe husband.
But see, vampire homosexual relationships are a lot like lesbian relationships. You just get the more bigger, muscular, stronger one to beat on you until you fall into submission. I get it! I get it!
What the hell's that yell? Are they gonna repair all this shit? Like what? How do you go fix this shit?
Did you hack fucking writers? Oh my god. Let's have them move up the stairs and now let's randomly have shit start breaking around the house and you just stand there, scream, react. Scream, react. Work for that money, girl.
Stay back, Claudia. It's okay. It's all good.
Daddy, you getting your ass beat. It's not okay. We got holes in the fucking ceiling, nigga.
I've hurt myself a million times. I never once harmed you.
Yeah, I could have harmed you, but I didn't. Like, this is some psychopath shit.
See, you guys had a really good thing happen here in this scene, and then you ruined it by having him turn up and look at the light. But you've got a nice visual. You got Lestat dragging him outside. His eyes are slightly hidden in the darkness as the natural light falls over his eyebrows. Makes him look very gaunt. And then you pan down and it's like, oh my god, he's got 2 in the pink and 1 in the trachea.
Like 2 in the pink and 1 in the trach.
Drag him down the street to put him into the fucking light or whatever. I don't know what the fuck's happening. But this is a nice visual. He's incapable of reacting because he can't move his chin. He's dragging by his arm, blood on the ground, trying to get a handhold on something. And then you dumbasses make this nigga pick his head up.
Ugh.
For the lighting, has his eyes pure black. Technically, you can see a little bit blue here. But then you have this nigga turn around and then lift his head up.
Yeah, they're not good at visual storytelling. I guess this is when you're supposed to see the real, like, I mean, we already know Lestat's a piece of shit, but this is when you see, like, the real monster. We're supposed to be feeling, oh, this shit's going down, and then, like, you ruin it because you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
You could have just like, taken the time to at least, like, get the shitty fucking Buffy black eye contacts. Just let him have pure black eyes here, and let it be, and let him when he turns out, and we can see the black, and it's like, ah, yes, this shit's getting good. This is the homophobia I came to see.
Let him go. He didn't do nothing. Let him.
He actually said it. He actually said it. He didn't do nothing. And that's the point. He didn't suck my cock. He didn't fuck my ass. He didn't stop me from going and fucking another woman. He doesn't care. Also, do you guys understand the very fucked up overtones of having a minority man being beaten to shit by a homosexual white? I'm not saying it's giving Jeffrey Dahmer, but what I am saying.
Oh shit! I
is,
just realized. Man, you got it in my head now, and it's not going anywhere. Damn. And then, wait. Then he walks down the street like with Tim all bloodied and shit. Same situation, and a cop comes around and says, "Hey, well, what are you doing?" And he says, "Oh, it's a lovers' quarrel." And then the cop walks away like, "Oh, those silly queers."
There's no way you just did not do that on purpose. How did y'all make this even gayer than it was the first time? How did y'all do that? Like, I can't even imagine how she would write this in the journal. And then I saw Uncle Les lift Daddy Lou into the air, and they flew off. They took off like that mother action about.
And they're doing it in the middle of the fucking street, by the way. The middle of New Orleans streets.
And then they took off in the air like that early contraption I later on in the 60s called a rocket. I couldn't believe it. They just kept going higher and higher and higher. I couldn't even see him no more. And I kept calling out to Daddy Lou and he couldn't hear me. Also, why are you limping? He strangled your neck, not your leg.
He kind of knocked her down once when he was in the middle of punching Louis. She got on his back.
I guess it would make more sense to be like, oh, her leg never fully healed when she got in that encounter with Bruce. And more importantly, willing to tell him about how you got your ass beat in a fight with your maker, but you don't want to at least be able to tell him about, yes, she was abused. Yes, it happened for a while. Yes, I'm upset about it. But don't ask me anymore, or else I'll make you masturbate with your bad hand.
I have waited, Louis.
That's a pretty nice shot.
Mm-hmm. Let go of me.
Anything for you.
There's no way he would fall in the same spot. I hope he's not going to fall in the same spot, is he? Please. Oh, come on. Are you fucking kidding me? Why
Hey,
did he just fall in the same spot?
But Jay, now he didn't fall in the same spot, but you're still mad. I can't even finish the sentence, but you're still mad. I know, it's dumb. But remember, these niggas think this is emotional. See, if it was me, I would have made his legs fall in the angle of a swastika.
It's weird because I was thinking, like, if he were positioned a certain way, this would not be wouldn't be okay. This would be kosher for television.
Like, there's only two ways you can go with this. Either he becomes a pile of body parts on the impact on the ground, he splats into a pile of blood and just is now like an empty sack with barely any fucking bones and fluids, or his legs break in very few particular ways. And there's only really one way you can go. It's the Family Guy position, which means his legs turned over his back on his side and then the leg bent backwards. Or you just decide to do some really funny visual gags here, because that's very clearly fucking CGI. Everything from the head and the torso down, that's real. The actor is like laying underneath a body puppet. But everything else from the neck down, from like the shoulder blades, that's clearly a fucking mannequin or CGI.
He looks all floopy.
Your home is where you're happy.
What a fucking way to end an episode, my God. All right, it's time for our favorite part of the show, everybody. The fucking gay-ass bullshit. It's time for the gaslighting.
She is poisoning Louis against me.
Is she? Is she really, though?
Does that work in this situation? Like, it works in the movie, the first movie. It doesn't work now. It doesn't work now.
We're his slaves, and I shall free us both.
Oh God.
No, that wording.
Oh, this fucking angle. Stop it with the racism angles. No, Louie, you can't be able to free yourself. I have to do it for us so we can be free. It'll cost my life, and then you'll be sad that I'm dead. But I'll free us both. All right, here it comes. Here comes the gaslighting.
What you saw wasn't what you just saw. It's what I think you saw.
You lost your goddamn mind.
And a teen that is becoming a 25-year-old, a 30-year-old, a 35-year-old in a teen's body. And she asks a very profound question.
Who am I supposed to love? How are you gonna fix it, huh?
Oh, you bitches cut that too! Oh! Oh, you knew what you were doing, you fucking evil people!
You know, I'm gonna edit that. I'm gonna edit that once I edit this part. I'm gonna cut that.
And she asks a very profound question.
Which one of you gonna fuck me, huh?
Do not make children vampires.
She's not a child, she's a teenager. You can't go back and forth between saying she's a child and a teenager.
You think on that, so.
Why was I the thing to make up for your mistakes?
Technically, she wouldn't be making up his mistakes. He would be using it as a replacement to distract him from the human problems that you just decided to finish writing out of this plot line in the story. You can't say she's there for mistakes when that then implies saving her is a mistake. Letting her live with you was a mistake. Turning her in the first place was a mistake. Choosing to even have the ability to have money and prestige, mistake. The fact he wanted to continue doing the pimping he was already doing when he was still a man, a mistake. There's no way you could have a story of these men being wealthy in this part of the country, in that part of the town, in that particular district, with those kinds of characters and mentalities that you wrote in your story, divided centrally inside of the business district of the corner, and you act as though that would be normal for him to not do. There's no way he would not be slanging coochie and dealing cards. There's no way that if he did not slang coochie and deal cards, he wouldn't have come into the hands of one Leon Court. And there's no way without the card slanging and the pussy grabbing that he would then have some ass grabbing with Mr. Leon Court. Everything has to play into everything else because it can't be coincidence, otherwise known as what needs to happen for the story to go forward. Either she's a mistake or he just made some fucked up choices or didn't make a choice at all. One of these is the correct answer, that he made some poor choices and didn't make a choice at all, but not with this character. But no! Teenage drama!
Claudia goes out to discover a world that Lestat warned her about. There must be somebody other than Louis Lestat out there. This is where we start building the Anne Rice universe.
No, leave it alone.
This is where we started building the Anne Rice universe. We needed to flesh out the story by getting some implied vampire rape.
You can't flesh out a story without rape.
It's a horrible thing that happens to Claudia, but it has toughened her up, and she ultimately comes back home.
Yes, she ultimately comes back home after getting her booty blasted. Mm-hmm. I too believe that vaginal, oral, and anal rape would toughen me up and not then make me even more of a shamble, as now that I've been violated by some undead dick, I now have to ask myself, did I really want sex? What was all that shit I was talking about? Because now my body aches in a way that will never properly heal.
Yeah, they knew that his shit didn't make sense, so they were like, fuck it, rape her. Now we don't have to write some stupid-ass puberty subplot that doesn't even make any goddamn sense anyway.
The only way that you can go forward without making it shit is that you now have to make her a matured woman in the sense of her mind, because her emotions are not the problem. You're dead. What chemicals are shooting through your body other than the undead kind?
Mm-hmm.
We had to rape the character to toughen her up. All right, that's your L. You're holding on to it. It's yours now. Nobody can take that L from you.
We're going to cross the ocean and take on a society of monsters.
It is about the fight of Louis.
Wait. Oh, God.
The way that you niggas dramatically tried to make the musical sting stop on the book clump You know what the fuck you were doing there. Like, this actress is basically nodding her head saying, yep, I knew he wasn't gonna go for that shit. And you're like, it's about the fight for Louis' soul, which is found directly in his butthole and also neck bone. He's trying to fight the homosexuality and leave with the woman, but the man is keeping him in the house. The man is abusing him, feminizing him, putting him in the girl suit. I totally believe that. I really do. It's the same kind of shit that y'all motherfuckers wrote about fucking Top Gun.
Get the fuck off!
I mean, in the end, it's Everybody Loves Louie, isn't it?
What the fuck? It's Everybody Loves Louie.
Everybody loves Louie.
You're gonna need like some French horns and some shit, maybe some upbeat, but then that's just the fucking that's just the fucking new song for the opening. Like you just get a fucking Armstrong sounding character like, and last time on Everybody Loves Louie. And fucking play out on a fucking trombone. Why are we making this show funnier than it actually is?
You know why. We need to, otherwise we go insane watching this horse shit.
You'd go insane from the horse shit. I'd go insane while I watch these niggas wear my fucking culture as a skin suit.
It was never you.
He tells Louis that he loves him, and Louis never says it back to him.
He tells him that he loves him.
I have patiently waited for you to love me as I love you. Just say it. Say at the start, I am never going to love you. It would help me a great deal.
Let me gay bash you, goddammit. I want to kill you so bad, you fucking nappy-headed nincompoop. Let me bash your skull in. Please, I just want to bite into your eye socket and rip out your fucking cornea. Just say you hate me. Make it easy for me. Make it easy for me so I can cry and come tears of blood. Yeah, I don't think this one's gonna work this time. I think the gaslighting is not gonna work for episode 5, bro. And there he is, floating, the special Adonis himself. There he is, the fighting faggot of the hour, man, walking down double lining in Main Street, sucking off your homie's meat.
There he is, the biggest queen in the universe.
Why did you guys give him this levitating effect? Like, at least your wire work isn't shit, but why is his leg so fucking still? It's like he's standing on an invisible block being told, all right, you're gonna do the Michael Jackson dance, but first you need to hit a proper fucking pose, eyes forward, and we'll give you your mark. Like, in a second, I just expect a Michael Jackson edit of What About Us to start. Just as he starts descending out of the sky, just oh god! This is episode 5. What the fuck am I about to see in episode 6? God damn it! Oh, like angels put in hell by God. Oh, this is gonna get pretentious real fast. And it's 50 minutes?